Some rumors went out there that Sasaki's not looking to sign until closer to January 20th. Now, I have some thoughts on what the Giants should do at that point, because for those of you that are wondering, International Signing Day for all their international free agents that they have lined up for, the day they can finally put pen to paper, is January 15th. So if Sasaki is intending to wait until, and I'm going to get their thoughts on this too, but if Sasaki is intending to wait to the 20th, quite frankly, in my opinion, go through with your deals. And that means getting Gonzalez, Macaris, and Barreto. But I can't remember his name, but I think that's right. Julian Barreto. And go get those three guys who I don't, depending on the ranking system, like MLB, I think had them as, well, Gonzalez was number one, then Sasaki posted. So they have them at, I think, 20 and then 24 for Macaris, and then Barreto was unranked. And then I think Baseball America had Gonzalez number 2, and then the other two guys were like 30 and 31. And I think they actually had Barreto above Macaris in that one. But you got three guys that are big upside prospects that, if they hit, you can really, that's a great infusion of talent in one signing class. It would probably be the best signing class on paper in the major leagues this season. And you could make a very strong case that it might be the best international class ever for the Giants. And then whatever money you have left, if it's $500,000, $750,000, $1 million, I don't really know what the Giants would be down to at that point. You can offer the rest to Sasaki. And if he wants to come, great. That's awesome. He'll make plenty of money in endorsements. It seems that he doesn't care as much about the money as far as a signing bonus. Otherwise, all the teams that have $7 million bonuses versus $5 million would probably be feeling pretty good. But to me, you just can't risk losing these guys chasing a pipe dream. Like if he comes, awesome. But if he doesn't, you've got to be, even if he doesn't come, you should be feeling amazing about the class you're pulling in.
Yeah, I think the three of us are all on the same page. I can't speak on behalf of Ricky, but I hope he feels the same. You sign those guys on the 15th as soon as the clock strikes midnight. Like you need the talent in your system, and as you pointed out, it's going to be one of the best, international classes you've gotten probably ever, if not in a long, long time. So yeah, you get those three pen to paper immediately. And as you pointed out, and I think, it hasn't really been talked about much regarding Sasaki and the Giants connection. San Francisco has a huge, Asian market, Japanese market. Like you can go and get Sasaki. He will get endorsements. He will be the face of the Asian community in the Bay Area. Like him getting money is going to be no problem, especially in Northern California, the Bay Area. Like he will have no issue getting the bag. So yeah, like I agree with that wholeheartedly. Whatever you have left over, throw that at him as your, as your signing bonus. Let him, come here to be one of the faces of the franchise. Then he's going to have the fan base by his side. He's going to have the endorsements just begging for him. It's going to be a no-brainer there. But yeah, you definitely do not risk missing out on any of those three just to put all your eggs in the Sasaki basket.
I'm at the very least going after Joshua Gonzalez and making sure that deal gets done before anything else. I can live with, messing around with the other two a little bit, but you got to lock in Gonzalez. I mean, these kids have been completely committed to the Giants for months and months now. And
years.
Yeah, or even years. I mean, ultimately you gotta really commit to these guys. They've shown that they really want to be here and have been repping the Giants hard, even though the deal hasn't become official yet. And to me, it really comes down to you cannot afford to let these guys slip away. Sasaki to make you wait 5 days only for him to choose one of your division rivals, and then you not only lose out on a big stud pitcher, but you also lose out on 3 top international prospects. Like that would hurt 100 times more than losing Burns to the D-backs, losing Snell to the Dodgers. Obviously, it wouldn't hurt you right now as much, but it's going to hurt you in the long run. And I just don't think the Giants are in a position to make that kind of risk. If Sasaki really wants to be in San Francisco, which, not to be negative, but I don't understand why he would choose the Giants over the Dodgers and Padres, especially the Padres. But ultimately, make him really prove that he wants to be here desperately and make him sign earlier than 5 days out, because it's just not right. It puts you in a totally lose-lose position where, you have no idea what's going to happen with him waiting till the last minute to sign.
Oh, dude,
So I'm just not on board with that. And like Cody's mentioned on previous lives, it's just bad business for the future of pulling in international guys from the Dominican, Venezuela, Cuba, Puerto Rico. So
it would feel like a literal
bridges.
punch to the gut.
Yeah. They have a pretty strong rep now around the Caribbean, we'll say. Ever since, and I've brought it up, and sorry if all the people that hate Bobby Evans, but ever since, Bobby Evans kind of put Figueroa and I can't think of the other guy's name, and I feel bad now. But the two guys that kind of run the international, like the Caribbean international scouting and all that, like the Giants have done a way better job pulling people in over the last 6 years. And I mean, I did a video on it last year on the signing classes they've had. It's actually been pretty impressive. And do you want to have the potential to really damage your rep by pulling contracts out from under these kids at the 11th hour? Like they probably would be fine at the end of the day. They would probably be okay, but it is a risk. And for a team that has struggled with acquiring talent, is it a risk that's worth taking? Because if he doesn't come, then you're in a bad spot with that. So.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would love him. I would love to get Roki, but you can't put all your eggs in one basket. Point of the moral of the story.
Yeah. And this one better trade for some international pool money. Yeah, I'm all for it. If you can work a little more wiggle room, you can only trade for, I think, up to 50% of your pool. So the Giants right now have 5.1, so they could, in theory, acquire like 2.5. Yeah. I mean, here's a creative trade idea. If the Johnsons weren't going to be cheap about it, is what if you traded Yaz and you told a team like, hey, we're going to eat his entire contract other than whatever the minimum is, but we want $2.5 million of your international pool money.
Honestly, I kind of like that.
I'd do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if it meant you could afford Sasaki and the other guys. Like, hell yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat.
For sure.
But, I don't know if a team would actually do that like that. They might view that money as more valuable. So
it's wishful thinking, though.
Yeah. George, I think I heard about that. I don't remember the kid's name. I do know in 2026 they are they have a verbal agreement with they have a verbal agreement with Luis Hernandez, who's a middle infielder from Venezuela, who's actually kind of talked about as super advanced. He's 15 years old right now, and he's been playing in like Venezuelan professional leagues and stuff down there in very high level competition.
Crazy.
So that is a guy that, if you've listened to us, and I know you do a lot, but for those of you that listened to us in the past, like that's one of the guys that there is some concern if you do sign another qualifying offer guy, could it damage your ability to get him? So, which probably doesn't, but something to think about.